Fellas, I wonder what you mind if I talk to you a minute.
Okay, gang, what you're seeing here is this is my controller for my Typhoon H480. What I want to focus on today is a little repair, maintenance type thing here. What you see here is the joystick here, okay? Right here. And for those of you who want to remove this potentiometer, there's 4 screws. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you do a project like this, repairing some of your drone, in this case the ST16 controller, make sure you have the right tools, alright? Okay, I was originally going to remove this potentiometer, but I decided not to for a few reasons, and there's no need to remove it in my case. But if you ever need to replace this joystick, you can remove it by taking out those 4 screws, okay? Now make sure you get the right screwdriver bits. I don't know what they call this one here, but I did test it, put it in there, and this one fits perfectly. I don't know if this is a Torx bit. I'm not sure what they call this one, but when you do it, just make sure you get the right one. And what I did was snug it up. These were loose, these 4 screws were loose, so I went around and I snugged them all up. Okay, you see those screws right there? Those are 10 screws that take the back cover off the ST16 controller. There you can see that piece standing up, that's the back side of it. But I also discovered something. See, this controller, I believe when I got it, it was used. Okay, see the little white piece right there, just above it? It looks like a little Phillips screw head. Alright, there's 2 of them that hold that little white piece down. Below the little white piece, there's a hole. The screw is missing, and on the top there's another screw that's missing. So whoever had this controller before me, somebody did some repairs in here and they didn't put the screws back in there. There's a place you can go on what they call YUNEEC Pilot Forum, and these guys are very good, very knowledgeable, and they can possibly help you with parts and pieces if you need for your controller or your drone, which is the YUNEEC Typhoon H480 in my case. The whole purpose of this video to start with was to show you how to spray the potentiometer with a contact cleaner. Here's something that's pretty important. You see the ST16 sitting there on top of a little box. I get a little hanky just so I don't scratch up the screen. And it elevates the controller because, as you know, you've got your joysticks there and you don't want to press on those. In other words, support it from the middle, and that way you don't have any problem with your joysticks, okay? And you got plenty of room to work. So this is the battery that goes in the back of the ST16 controller. Make sure you unplug that first. Okay, and when you unplug it or plug it back in, you cannot get it wrong because the little blue plugs there, you got one on a square and round, And same here, so they will match up. So in other words, you cannot get it wrong, okay? Okay, you see this little teeny hole right here? There's supposed to be a screw that goes in there. And you can't see from here, but up on top there's another one that holds this little bracket down. Well, somebody worked on this thing previously. They left a couple screws out. So I got a little desperate right now, and I know I shouldn't have done it, but I had to, just out of peace of mind. See right here, that's a dab of super glue right there. Okay? And I put one up on top of the other side because I just want a little added security. So I know this controller was most likely used or refurbished or something, but somebody left a couple screws out. So you got a total of 10 holes. Okay, you can see I got the case put back together here. I'm just now putting the screws in. Let me tell you something I'd highly recommend you doing. When you put these screws in, okay, make sure when you start them in there, back them off first so you can hear it click and snap in, because all it is plastic to plastic. You don't want to strip those holes out, okay? It's a very delicate operation, and that's why they call me Dr. KUHN. Putting the rubber grips back in, not a problem. You see it's got 3 little nodule things there, nipples, call them what you want. They just basically pop right into those holes, 3 holes. Just push gently. If you have to, you can take a little teeny bit of dish soap for a little lubricant, just a dab, and they'll pop right back in there. When you put the 2 pieces of the controller back together, the front and the back, the sliders right here, just make sure that they're where you can operate them. Because sometimes when you put it back together, this slider may have gotten bumped, and this little tip right here, you see that, will be inside the controller, and it won't go back together correctly. So just make sure they're both out. You can see that quite clearly, and you should be good to go. All your screws are back in, handles are back on, and your battery's back in, battery cover. Okay, I want you to hear something here. All you hear right now is fans running. If this thing was not working right, let's talk about the potentiometer here for a second, you'd hear this noise. Anyway, if you hear this noise, you got a problem. Don't launch it. Shut it down. Figure out what's wrong. Maybe your potentiometer needs contact spray, but you'll have to dig into that. But everything right now, see the propeller here? Just make sure that your drone is not on, no power to it. Just give them a little spin like that with your finger, okay? And listen for noise. It's pretty quiet, okay? Well, I had a prop that was making a lot of noise when I would spin it, so I didn't know if it was the motor or whatever. So I took the prop off, and I have some spares here, and I put another one on, and it's nice and quiet. So that's just another little final thing to check, and take care of your drone, keep it flying safely, and it's a great machine. Okay, hope you enjoyed it. Take care.